Men too are victims of men. Now, there's this tragic story that broke the news of a UKZN student who was killed by his friend, or rather, as the news say, his roommate. Now, I won't dwell on my personal encounter with these guys. However, I will highlight what it's taught me. Men are victims. Men are victims because they're killing each other. They're destroying their own children. They're destroying their own crown. I mean, in Proverbs 12 verse 4, the word of God says, a woman, a noble one, is a crown to her husband, or rather a crown of her husband. Now, let's not ignore the fact that men have a stronger stature. And that stature is meant to build, for a man to work, to protect, and not to destroy. So in actual fact, their biggest enemy, their strength, is what destroys them due to the mismanagement of their being. Now, we need not to ignore that there's a driving force, an evil one who seeks to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So a man's stature, his identity, and his dignity is under attack by the evil one. The driving force behind all this distorted men's behavior we see in our society today. And this is all to distract a man from what he ought to be doing in this time we're living in. A man ought to be seeing the visions of the future, as is written in Acts 2 verse 17, that a man will see visions and will prophesy. With wisdom, a man ought to plan the future, leading firstly in their own homes, with a logical way of thinking that is natural to the man's design. So if a man's destroyed, society is doomed. Because we can all say men are trash, but it's either we want one or we have one. Even biologically, to produce, you do need a man. You need the seed of a man to produce. And besides that, the biggest thing that could ever happen to a girl, I understand from a man's perspective that you learn from a man's structure, and that's how you become a better man. But a girl, I'm speaking of a girl because I'm a woman, and the biggest thing I would have ever wished for, having not had a dad, is to have that daddy's girl relationship. I mean, without God, I could clearly identify even within myself that there are areas where I could say I had some daddy issues, because I mean, there's strength in the validation that will come from a dad. It's very empowering for a female figure. Unlike a mother who's naturally inclined to nurture. So I would urge you, men and women, to have a look at this link I've attached below of Apostle V. Mahlaba, who speaks a lot of a man's identity. He speaks a lot of enlightenment into a man's identity. That'll be a great starting point in restoring the image of a man in society. So let's stand together and let us fight against the evil one who seeks to destroy. Let's not look and fight the wrong enemy. Of course, let's identify our wrongs and work towards fixing them, but let us not lose vision of who is our true enemy. Thank you.